so I just hopped in and we went down to Melbourne, and Deepak was temple president there, and the temple was in Double Bay. That was a really, really wonderful place. And first thing I told Deepak was, I'm not going to distribute any books. It's pretty intentional distributing books. I just want to distribute prasadam. I sort of was trying to rush the idea of, giving prasadam to people. But he said, yeah, sure. But still, I went from the next day, I just went out on book distribution again. So that went on for many years, and that was really good. And those early days. So Sydney was, really the centre of Christian consciousness in the country, and there would be a unique relationship with the early devotees and the deities, and I'm sure they all have wonderful sort of memories of the kind of what transpired, relationship with the deities and everything like that, and devotees. Those were unique, very special, very, very sweet days, and I really have a very, very great debt to those early devotees who took responsibility to manage the temples, and they did it as a selfless thing, as a service for Srila Prabhupada. They were asked to do it, and they did it. Somehow or another, in those rough and tumble early days of Australia, we were able to try to do something. And distributing books, it was austere, but for me it was easier than trying to be a temple president or something. It was totally out of my league, So, and I had this phobia, and I still have it, of trying to give a lecture, a Bhagavatam class or something like that. But unfortunately, if you stick me in front of a Bhagavatam in a class, I'll rave on for hours, just like I'm doing now. Hours and hours and hours. People start getting up and leaving, and okay, it's time for prasadam. So, Charu, Bhababi, Deepak, Mother Ambika, Rukmavati, of course Upendra was there. I might have missed a few names. Sabhabati sort of turned up after a while, and he was a bit of a prime mover. These are all devotees we owe debts to, every one of us, for generations and generations and generations, because like now, Krishna consciousness is seen to be a little bit maybe respectable, and the chance of experiencing that kind of rasa of complete dependence and being viewed by the general public as something different, that's not there anymore. But you could see from that video we saw last night what it was like. And our techniques of distribution, book distribution, were pretty rough, but actually it was ecstatic. And I remember times distributing books when my face would be aching from smiling all day. It would actually be aching, and the people, they were getting a taste. It's a loving exchange. They're getting some transcendental knowledge, and they give a contribution, and they'll never forget that. Well, we're not forgetting it, But Srila Prabhupada did leave instructions with senior disciples of his about further strategies for spreading Krishna consciousness and experiencing Krishna consciousness. And the major one from which I could see was the farming communities. What happened was, after many years of book distribution, gradually we moved into selling Srila Prabhupada's sets of books, and Hari Soy, I owe great debt to him for organising a party to do that. And we went to Encyclopedia Britannica. This is out of Sydney. Actually, what happened was, I'd gone to New Zealand straight after Srila Prabhupada left this world. I went to New Zealand and did book distribution there for another 3 years, and Yatso was the temple president in Auckland, right? But, moves were afoot to introduce paraphernalia, Sankirtan, or selling things, and they needed the van that I was using, and so basically I was put on the spot, stop distributing books pretty much, we need the van, and times are changing, and that was a total devastation, believe me, for devotees who had a service like that gave them a taste to buoy them, keep their head above Maya. It was like, cool. courting, suicide, to not have a service, to give you the taste, you're looking at repeated birth and death. So I was really distraught actually at that time. But somehow or another, we were thinking, well, look, instead of selling a lot of people one book, why not try to sell one person a lot of books? I mean, it was from a perspective of not really being able to go out in the street. So I had to think, Prabhupada wanted these books sold like an encyclopedia, and devotees had tried it without any great success. So I started writing letters to favourable people, and I started getting sets of books from BBT in LA, and I sold maybe 5 or 6 sets of books over there. And then I left New Zealand, came to Sydney. Hari Soy, was very kind to me at that time. And then Balaram indicated that he wanted me in Melbourne. So I felt it was good to feel wanted. Because actually there used to be a party that operated out of Sydney, called the BBT party. We were like the elitists, not like those, lesser beings living in the temple, We were like the elite core. We had the ego to go with it too, at least I did. So we used to just cruise around and, distribute books anywhere we liked, whenever we liked, And we'd stop into a temple for, a few days, 3 or 4 days, get a bit of a charge up, but not much longer than that. Then we'd head off and enjoy the life of, just freedom and out in the countryside, camping down by rivers, having a bath, and doing our own thing, our own Mangalati and all that kind of stuff, distributing books and everything. So it was good, but every couple of weeks at least we'd come back to a temple. But at one particular point, the temple presidents got together and decided, this was probably about 1978, maybe we need those devotees in the temple. So they disbanded that program, and we all ended up in a temple somewhere or another. And to my surprise, nobody actually wanted me.